Hello everyone, what's up? Welcome back. Game number 3 between Dimaga and Goody. We are on Scrap Station this time, so it should be a good matchup. Terran versus Zerg here in Scrap Station. Now, this is, again, game number 3 in this 3-game series. The first 2 games were split between the players. Dimaga ended up winning the first one, and Goody just won the last matchup. So it's been a pretty interesting series thus far. The end of last matchup was pretty cool. We saw a big push from Goody that was countered just barely by Dimaga. He managed to use his Mutalisks and some Transfuses to stop a push that took out his expansion, but then when trying to counterattack with those Mutalisks, he lost nearly all of them to a bunch of Marines in the bunker, as well as a Thor and Viking. So in losing the Mutalisks, Dimaga did call a good game because he didn't have much back at home. So yeah, looking forward to this matchup. Somewhat Zerg friendly, I think, really early on in the game, in the sense that it takes a very long time for this wall to go up. So if you manage to do something like a 10 pool, there's a very good chance that you will be able to get Zerglings into the Terran player's base and do some economic damage, at the very least harass. But at the same time, 10 pool, obviously not a very economic build, and I'm not sure Dimaga's going to be going for that. In fact, I'm certain that he will not be, because already at 13 supply. So maybe seeing a quick expansion, or he may be playing off one base. He actually did mix it up between the 2 last games, so we'll see what happens. And already barracks being placed down right now for Goody, not at the wall, so he's obviously not concerned about an early Zergling run by, because he's not planning on walling off at all. Of course, you know, high level players are fully capable of having the micro skills to use their SCVs as well as the Marines to be able to fend off any Zergling pressure as well early in the game. It's really not the hardest thing in the world. It requires enough awareness and ability of grabbing your SCVs and then having the Marine tucked away behind them or inside of a massive SCV so that the Marine can't get surrounded. But anyways, we do have a expansion coming down right now for Dimaga, so he's going to be going for that early expansion, and here comes that spawning pool right after that, and then we'll be seeing that extractor sometime shortly thereafter, I would assume. Now at this point, Dimaga is fully aware that this wall off is not really occurring. This first Marine coming out right now, and this is really solid right here. The Marine's going to come out a little bit closer to that Overlord, so he may be able to start doing some damage, but it looks like that Overlord's going to get away pretty much no problem. Second depot going to be going down right over here, so there goes that Marine, but not going to be out soon enough to be able to take out that Overlord. Probably going to be seeing this lifted off and placed to the front wall again, I would imagine, and there we go. So going to be lifting off and moving it to the front wall over there. Expansion almost finished right now for Dimaga. There is that extractor, and that spawning pool almost finished as well, so Goody going to be fully aware of exactly what Dimaga is doing at this point. Inside of Goody's base, we do see that second refinery somewhat early on in the game. You can see it's about 17 supply, second refinery coming down. So it looks like he's probably planning on teching pretty hard. Going to be getting some good upgrades, either siege mode, cloak banshees. Those are two of the most likely things to be seeing early on in the game. And yeah, so should be pretty interested in seeing exactly what he intends on doing with that. And also going to be interested to see what his next tech choice is. If he's going to go for another barracks, or if he's going to be going for a starport right after that factory. And over here right now, for Dimaga, we do have a few Zerglings moving out, going to be testing the front waters, want to check that expansion, also check to see what buildings are at the front here for Goody. He wants to know if he's barracks heavy or if he's got that factory down. He also wants to know what attachments are on both buildings. And here we go, that factory is finished right now, so let's see that next building placement choice for Goody. I'm thinking it's going to be a starport, and blocked here from this depot, so not coming out with anything right now, but no, I am wrong. 2 starports being placed right here, so going for double starport. That's why he got that second gas early. The likely thing we're going to be seeing here is double banshees. Probably not going to be able to get cloak because you won't be able to afford it with these double starports quite early enough, but going to be pushing out with double banshee, and that is a lot of damage. We are seeing a tech lab go down here on this factory as well. So Starport's just about finished. Going to be seeing 2 tech labs drop on that right away, and like I said, probably going to be seeing double Banshee. Now looking inside Dimaga's base, he's going to want, maybe sacrifice an Overlord, I don't know. Moving an Overlord to the back of the base here, and he's actually moving it in the proper direction. If he ends up catching those double Starports, he's going to be fully aware, and what he's going to want to do is make some more queens. You can see he's got 2 queens right here. He also has his queen of this expansion. No more queens coming right now, so he's going to want some more. He's going to want at least 1 more queen to deal with this heavy push that's going to come, and Overlord moving forward, and is he going to spot it in time? No, he does not. So right now, Dimaga does not know that this double starport's coming. He has no idea at this point what's going on. He's not going to be prepared for it. You can see right now, not coming out with any additional queens, just with those 2, and this could be a big problem right now. It's going to depend on his queen management. If he manages to pull this one up to help these 2, we can see those 2 banshees on the way right now for Goody. So at this point, obviously, such a heavy resource investment, nothing else coming out for Goody right now. He's just going to be working on these banshees early on, and we are seeing another one in queue as well. So going to be planning on pushing out with 2 waves of them at the very least. And again, like I said, going to be a little problematic. We do have one more queen actually coming out right now for Dimaga. So Dimaga's going to, if he can get that queen up in time, he should be okay against that first wave of banshees. It's going to be a little harder once the second wave moves in. So there we go. First wave on the way out, and this is going to be a big moment right now. We also have some Zerglings moving forward, chasing down this Hellion, going to get us around and take it out, and then going to want to pull back with those Zerglings. Marines are going to make quick work of those, and here we go. Hellion's moving in, and this is going to be a really deciding factor in how this game plays out. Wants to take out those queens as quickly as possible. Queen's going to be pulling down. They want the reinforcement of their additional queens, and good transfuse going down from Dimaga. So 4 queens going to be pushing forward and going to be able to push back these banshees. Going to be forced to move back right now. Doesn't want to lose this banshee. Good, come on, Goody. There you go. Pull it back. Wait till you get those additional ones out, and oh, ends up losing the banshee. That was just a bit of miss micro. He could have just pulled back into the safe distance and then pulled back home, and he would have been okay, but he lost that banshee, and that's actually a big problem. He really wanted that alive. If he had the 4, he may have been able to actually pick down these queens and then work on everything else, and we can see 2 more queens coming out right now for Dimaga. So now Dimaga is going to have no problem dealing with these banshees. 3 banshees moving forward and going to be taking out that queen very quickly, but no transfuse. 1 transfuse going down, 2nd transfuse going down as well. The banshee attack has been thwarted, so Goody has to make a transition right now. There's way too many queens on the board, and actually, did we see cancellations of those additional queens? There we go. So one more queen did come out. So yeah, he did keep those queens coming, and that's this is a problem right now for Goody. He's not in the strongest spot. You can see his ground force is very, very weak right now. He really was relying on doing a bunch of damage. We do have 2 more banshees coming out right now, and going to be followed up with some Vikings there as well. So re-rallying his banshees right now, going to be moving out with a 5, and going to be pretty much just trying to drop the queens before any transfuses can go down. Overseer fully aware right now of this banshee push. Queens moving down someplace safe, and the Banshee's going to be moving, actually splitting up. Okay, there we go. So re-rallying those Banshees, finally re-rallying all into 5, and then going to be pushing in someplace where that Overseer is not. Also seeing Dimaga taking advantage of this harassment and the fact that Goody isn't doing much else by coming out with this expansion down to the high yield. And here we go, going to be moving down, trying to take down these queens, trying to drop them down before any transfuses can hit. 2 queens, very low on health right there, and 2 queens do go down to just these queens right here. There are 5 queens on the board, going to be chasing down. They're down to 4 Banshees right now, Mutalisk out right now, so these Banshees are dead in the water. Going to be trying to take all those queens, but no, too many queens. And look at this. If you are Zerg and you have trouble against Banshees, what do you need? You need queens. That's about it. Get some queens, get that Overseer just in case that cloak gets research. Try to stay away from Vikings, and you're going to be in a solid position. Now, right now, Goody, like I said, in a bit of trouble. Not a lot of ground forces for him, and lots of Mutalisks right now on the board, and this is going to be a bit of a problem right now. We do have a few Vikings as well as Marines, and that's going to actually do a fairly good job of fending back these Mutalisks. The Vikings by themselves, not the greatest against Mutalisks, but coupled with those Marines, definitely add to the counter ability of those Mutalisks. So Mutalisks going to be balling up again and pulling forward. There's quite a bit here right now on the board at the moment. We do have 11 Mutalisks. There are also 11 Marines and 4 Vikings though. So what he needs to do is just circumvent this army and try to pick off places where the units aren't, basically. And a big problem right now is the fact that Goody hasn't expanded. We do have this high yield just coming up right now for Dimaga. He's going to be trying to saturate that sometime in the near future. And I mean, right now Dimaga's got a lot of map control, and Goody's, you know, like I said, pretty contained in his base. Now, what does he have coming out? More Hellions right now coming out, as well as these additional Marines. What does he have for upgrades? Just that stim pack researching, no combat shield as of yet. Feeling like he doesn't want to engage quite yet. Going to be rallying his forces, coming out with a few Banelings as well as those Speedlings. So probably going to be trying to bust the front wall, getting some Zerglings and Banelings into the main base to try to mop up those Marines, and then also at the same time moving in with those Mutalisks. If he can do that combination and try to hit at the same time, then he's going to do a pretty good job of mopping up the units. We'll see exactly what happens, but again, Dimaga has got full map control right now, feeling pretty safe, feeling pretty comfortable. Wouldn't be too surprised if he took this additional expansion here as well. I mean, why not? There's really no threats against him. But here we go, big push coming out right now. Tons of SCVs being pulled down right now as well. So Goody's trying to go for a killing blow. He's going to need to be very careful to micro away from those Banelings. He does have stim pack up. That's going to make that a little bit easier. So yes, big push coming down right now for Goody, and this is going to be a real deciding factor in how this game plays out. That's a lot of Banelings right now for Dimaga, and that's a big Mutalisk cloud as well. And aware that this push is coming, Mutalisk may move into the main base, or they may come and help this push. Lots of Vikings there as well, and those Marines definitely going to make things a little more difficult. Scan going down. I think he saw this Baneling, so he's aware. He's going to need to do a good job of microing. If he can micro away, he might be okay. Stim pack going down. Needs to stay away from those Banelings. Pull those Marines back, but no. That did not happen the way he wanted at all. Goody calls good game. So Goody just got mopped up by those banelings. He didn't micro them away. He dropped the stim pack, and the idea, of course, from that point is to grab your Marines in small groups and then pull them off to the side, split them up into multiple groups so that one baneling, two banelings moving into your Marines doesn't pop the entire bit. But unfortunately, it didn't work out that way for Goody. Dimaga ended up mopping that up pretty simply. So a good game between these two players. It was a nice series. Looks like Dimaga did end up coming out victorious, winning 2 of the 3 games. As always, guys, this has been Force from Force Strategy Gaming. If you like the content, subscribe. And as always, keep watching and keep owning.